What's going on, everybody? Ben here with Miles, and today I'm going to show you how to get started with your brand new Miles Dual. Now, this instruction video is for the Generation 2 Miles skateboards. If you don't know which generation you have, it's simple. The first gen boards are going to have deck lid screws, about 10 of them all along the board. The second generation, the latest generation, is going to have a Velcro deck, so there aren't going to be any screw holes visible on the top. That is how you know which board you have. The second thing you're going to want to do is make sure that both the remote and the board have been fully charged before you start riding. So right when you get it out of the box, just throw everything on the charger and you'll be good to go. Now, in order to get started, we're going to want to power on both the remote and the board. I like to start with the board first. To turn it on, there's no power switch or anything like that. What you do is you actually take the back left wheel and give it a spin, and you'll hear it beep twice to let you know that it is on. So now that the board's on, we're going to go ahead and take our remote. Then holding down the power button, which is the one on the left, the remote will beep once, and that is how you know you are connected to the board. If you find that your remote is not pairing with the board, or you got a replacement remote and need to pair it, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. In order to get to the internals, we're going to need to take off this Velcro deck lid. And in order to do that, we're going to need 2 flathead screwdrivers, or a flathead screwdriver and a butter knife. Anything skinny and thin that you can slip under the deck lid to pry this off is what you're gonna need. Alright, in order to get the deck lid off, I like to be sitting down and I like to position the tail of the board to myself, and then using the skinnier of the tools, what you want to do to get started is just kind of start in the corner of the tail here, making sure you get under the Velcro, not just the grip tape, under the deck lid itself. And then once you get a good starting point, take your other flat-headed instrument or tool, whatever you're using, and kind of wiggle and wedge around the Velcro until you get to a point where you're able to pry it open and get your thumbs underneath. So now that I have about enough wiggle room, I'm gonna place my thumb underneath and go ahead and just slowly and carefully pull this grip tape up all the way to the bottom and reveal the inside. Alright, now that the deck lid is off, we're going to begin pairing a remote. In order to do that, you're going to need to push this little button inside the controller here. I use a lead pencil. If you have a needle or a very skinny instrument to get in there to hit that button, that is what you need. Now, if you look, the right side of the board is here. If you look through that tiny hole, there will be a solid red light. That means the board is on, but no remote is paired. In order to pair something, take your tool, stick it into the slot and hit that button, like so. And when you do, that red light is going to be flashing. I hope you guys can see that. That red light is now flashing. And what that means is you're ready to pair a remote. So get the remote you want to pair with the board. Hold down that power button. And as you can see now, that light is flashing twice as quick. And we are showing connectivity on the remote and on the board. So you hit the gas, you're good to go. Now, you're all paired up and ready to rock and roll. One thing I want to mention before putting your deck lid back on is to make sure that these wires are nice and tucked. You don't want them laying over the top so they get pinched when you stand on the board. So just make sure everything's nice and neat, and then go ahead and line up your deck lid. And Velcro is pretty self-explanatory. Paste it down. You're good to go. Your board is paired, your wheels spin, and you're ready to rock. So now that your remote is synced up to the board, it's time to go ahead and go over the LCD display. Starting in the top left corner, you will see RM, and in the right you will see BO. This is the battery level for the remote and board respectively. The further you ride, the less that bar is going to be there, and you will know when to recharge either the remote or the board. Underneath that, you will see ODO. That is your odometer, which tells you how far you've gone throughout the life of the board. Underneath that is another odometer, but that one is for the specific trip you are on. Below that, you have your miles per hour, which is your speed when riding. And underneath that, you have the max mile per hour for the trip. In the bottom left corner, you will have either FW, which stands for forward, or BW, which stands for reverse. Next to that, it says high. That is your speed setting. Now, let's go over some of the buttons for your Miles remote. The first one is easy. It's the throttle. Forward is go, back is brake. Now, the next thing you can do is change up the speed modes you are in. In order to change up the speed mode, hit the light button, which is the right button, and you will see that the speed mode changes in the bottom here. You have several. You have low speed, medium speed, high speed, and high plus. Now, in order to change from forward and reverse, you double click the power button. Right now, in the bottom left corner, you'll see FW, which stands for forward. To go into reverse, double click the power, and you'll see you're in backwards, and the wheels spin that way. Double click again, and you'll go back into forwards. Another option on the remote is a mini light on the top of it. This is great for when you're riding at night. This isn't meant so that you can see where you're going, more so that cars and other people can see you. To activate that, all you need to do is hold down the light button, and your light comes on. To turn it off, do the same thing, hold it down again. The last thing that comes with the remote is a switch on the side here. Now this changes your readouts from imperial to metric system. So right now we're in miles per hour. If I were to slide the switch back down to the bottom, power the remote off, and then turn it on again, you will see that we are now using the metric system, and we are using kilometers and kilometers per hour. Again, if you need to switch that back to imperial, push the switch up towards the top, go ahead and turn your remote off, power it on again, and you're ready to rock and roll. Alright guys, so that is everything you need to know about using your Miles board for the first time. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and we'd be happy to get back to you guys. Thanks for watching.